So this is the story about how we got this car for a test drive. The owner called us and said that we can pick up the car by this address. So we came here, stand and wait. Then he comes out and says that we have to come in, because the car is standing at the service right now, and it's almost ready. So we go up the stairs and get to the BGT service, where the owner of this automobile usually maintains it. Long story short, he got a range of services here. I'm not gonna enumerate all of them. The main thing is that he gave us the key and said the car is ready. Everything's done, so you may have it for a test drive. But before taking this car for a test drive, I walked around it, examined the body, just in case if it has any damages. If I don't do it later, they can tell me that I damaged it, and I will have to pay for it. That's why I talked to the owner after it, showed him some small damages I found. He said, yes, I know about it, and that's it. I was almost about to take the car away. I just took one last glance, and the car was fully covered with vinyl wrap. But I didn't know they've just did it here at BGT, and I saw lots of defects. It was coming off everywhere, and somewhere it was ripped, and somewhere it already fell off, and I was like, damn. So I asked him who did this job, and he answers, these guys did. They've just finished it, and now they give the car back. I say, wait, no deal. We should definitely call the manager. So I called him and told him about the poor quality of the job. He said, I didn't work on this car. It was my employee. She was responsible for this project. So he gives me the girl's number, and I call her, and she confirms she did all the job. And I start asking her about all the screw-ups and all the defects. And then I asked about the wrap, at least what kind of a brand that was, and she said, I have no idea. Seriously? Can anyone here tell me who did this job? I think she's already left. Oh, she left. The owner hasn't taken it back yet, but everything's falling off already. What kind of a job is that? And what kind of a wrap is that? You don't even know the brand of the wrap you used. In 15 minutes, the girl comes back. She asks what kind of a complaints you have. I say, I told you by phone. She says, okay, show me. And I show her multiple cups and say, what kind of a job is that? And she says, stop being rude with me. And I realized that it's not gonna work. I said, I got you, girl, that's it. I'm not talking to you anymore. You may leave now, have a good day. What the f are they doing? I'm poking her face into the car and prove that's a bullshit. And the only thing she can answer is, you are being rude with me. Oh my god. What the f is going on? Where the hell did they hire her from? That's crazy. Unbelievable. If she said, fucking BGT, I'll redo everything. God, it would be nice. And they want money for this. Everything's falling off. The holes are everywhere. The wrap is all ripped and cut. The poorest wrapping I've seen. F these guys, Jesus. Okay, I just want to show you something. Check this out. Do you see the hole over here? You see it? The dirt, the sand, and the water is gonna get under this wrap, and it will damage it further on. Soon, it will fall off. And she saw she was doing it like this. You see, I'm not making it up. Look at these holes. It's ripped again. And now I showed it to the girl who did it immediately. Yeah. It was not us who did it for the video or for the content. It's just the way it is. And now, look over here. You see it? Check it out. Does it look okay? And also we saw how they damaged the door on this Cadillac. They were to make the noise insulation on this car. When you do such a thing, you have to do it carefully, but they pressed too hard on this door from the inside and damaged it just a little bit. And when you look at the end face of the door, you can see it's wavy. Didn't you see it? Just look at it from the inside. Look, I'm going to show it to you. Check this out. It looks pushed out. Yeah, that's because when they did it, I'm going to explain it to you. When you do noise insulation, they do it with a special roller. And they seem to roll too hard with it. Yeah, they push too hard. And then look over here. We purposely didn't touch anything here to show you, because I want you to tell me what you think about it. Now look at this covering. Look what's going on here. It used to be okay. Did they do anything with the arcs? Yeah, they also were supposed to be insulated. You're welcome. Do you consider it a good job? No. Hell no. And since from now on there is a hole, all the water and dirt is going to get there. And what do we have inside there? Oh, what is that? Some wires. There's a block of wires. Do you understand now? That's the attitude you get. And the most funny thing happened when we decided to take off the wheel from this car. While shooting a test drive, we decided to take off the front right wheel, and that was just a random decision. And we did that just because I wanted to show you the size of the braking disc comparing to the car. You just look at the size of this automobile, it weighs about 3 tons. And look how small these brakes are, how such small brakes are supposed to stop it. So when we took the wheel off, the repairman says, guys, who the hell put these wheels on before me? I say, I have no idea. So I called the owner and he says that all the works were made by guys from BGT, and now I'm gonna show you what they did. When they were putting the wheel on, they turned the wrench. They simply missed the thread and stripped it. They missed the thread, cut it off and said, oh fuck it, who cares? And this is a new car and it weighs 3 tons. Fucking morons. That's how irresponsible these idiots are. Goddamn faggots. They can't even turn a wrench. They simply cut off the threads on a brand new car. Do you even realize how dangerous that is? And what if this wheel falls off somewhere on the highway? Is it so hard or expensive to say, "I'm sorry bro, I wanted to screw on a nut, but I screwed everything up and damaged your stud, but I will buy another one and fix it." But no, he just left it like this, Jesus. Go and kill yourself. Our new repairman told us that such a small damage may become a cause of a serious accident if this wheel falls off after some small collision or in case of some overload. And the guys from BGT service were aware about it, and they knew that I'm gonna take this car for a test drive. They could at least tell us that this car has some problems with the wheel, and that we shall wait till tomorrow until they fix it, because I understand that they need some time to find another bolt or nut or whatever. But that's their attitude. I contacted the owner of this company and I expected for some apologies at least, and fixing all of these problems for free, but instead I heard only threatenings from him. That is why I'm not gonna be quiet about it. I want them to get what they deserve. And now finally let's get rid of all this dirt, cause this is not what this video is all about. I hope you like this video. So it's a Cadillac in D3.
Кучеряво жили, золотишко в жиле, бронеобрезы, Кадиллак в боевом режиме. Бедолаг кружили, делали родных чужими. А-ля 79-й год, рыбные дела, сашими. Если не в багажнике, то где? Будет лох, что бомбил лохов, скажи мне.
Роли, роликсы. У каждого своя роль, свои комиксы. Вот тебе от бати на память часы.
According to what I see here, it has plenty of different technologies. And first of all, it's beautiful. Just to begin with, this is very beautiful. This massive wooden console with a coat of varnish on it. And the screens are gigantic, and they're cool not because of being big, but because of being stylish. They're big only because their size matched the size of this automobile. And this display and the screen is made with insane quality. Same as these cameras, they catch everything and send it here. And this car already ran more than 9,000 miles. I don't know where it's already been and where its owner already drove it, but what I know for sure, because he told me himself that he already drove it to Altai. That was the first thing he did. First he drove it to Altai and then to many other places. He's a traveler. He bought a car and arranged a trip at once. This car has plenty of different buttons, and I think it's gonna take lots of time to figure everything out. But nevertheless, it's so nice just to be here. I don't feel same comfortable inside of a Land Cruiser, for example, mainly because they ask too much money, but offer me a car I don't really need. I don't understand what I should pay for. And the second thing is that car doesn't have any breakthrough technologies, and frankly speaking, I never liked Cadillacs. And I never liked it because of this car. God damn it, Cadillac, would I ever buy it, you may ask me? No fucking way, I would never buy it. This one's beautiful. And I like absolutely everything in the design of this car. I like the side view, and I like the front view, and I like even the back view of this car. I like the seating in this chair, and I like the amount of space. And also I like the attention to details in the design of this beautiful interior. And also I like how the climate system looks like, cause it's so simple, but it's made with such a taste. I love the dashboard, and the multimedia system is so intuitive and so informative, and it doesn't look like anything else. And it works so smoothly even when you drive and move, and it shows everything with these arrows. The navigation system is so informative that even a complete mentally retarded moron would understand it. On the whole, the multimedia system is, well, not 10 out of 10, but 8 out of 10, that's for sure. But if we compare it to a Land Cruiser or a Lexus, it's 10 out of 10. We've just came across a guy in a Land Cruiser 200. Did you see his face? And here we are, driving this Cadillac, this gorgeous, this luxurious, this beautiful and amazing two-colored, wonderful automobile. And this automobile doesn't make me fall in love with it. But I'm just being a dick. This car has a right to exist. And first of all, it has the right to exist because it's beautiful. And it's big. And this engine is enough for it, absolutely for, well, just for transportation from point A to point B. It is enough for sure. This car is not about... Forget about it, it's not made for it. Hey bro, what you think if we arrange a small race? Oh really? That's a 2009 5-liter naturally aspirated engine. How much horsepower? Well, to be honest, it stands on its 24-inch wheels, and that's already unfair, because it has to spin them somehow. And also we have 4 men in a car and they have only 2. However, they have full trunk of stuff. And also a spare wheel perhaps. No, we don't have it. How much horsepower you have? No, we don't have it. We have Godzilla powers. And also I want to mention that the suspension works 1,000 times better than, for example, you just look at that. The tape came off. Good job, BGT. It's coming off everywhere. It seems to be such a big car, but it just screwed in this turn so easily, and it didn't make anyone face the opposite window like a Land Cruiser does. By the way, these safety systems work very gently and delicate. Sometimes I even feel corrects the trajectory when the car leaves the lane without a blinker, but it corrects the steering just a little bit. It's not like a Kia, for example, or some Land Cruiser. It doesn't wrench the steering wheel out of my hands. Of course, this automobile is not a match for a Land Rover. Though wait, why the f it's not a match for a Land Rover? Is it beautiful? Yes, it's not worse. Is it cool inside? Yes, it is. The new range they have recently presented has a lovely appearance and a very nice interior, but that's an upcoming car, and this car already exists, it's already for sale, and from everything we've got on the market. For 160,000 I would buy this car, a good choice for security, and big enough, but you will definitely have to upgrade your brakes. And by the way, the owner of this automobile told me that soon they're gonna present a sport version, and they're gonna put a supercharger to this engine and a compressor. And it's gonna have around 700 or 750 or even 800 horsepower. And then you sons of bitches who don't like Cadillacs and fuck around with them, you're gonna regret it. And I'm gonna be among those who gonna regret it, cause so far it's too slow for me. However, I would buy this car for 160,000, but again, he was fast enough to buy this car for 160,000. Now they are selling it for 200, but I would arrange it cheaper if I needed to. I even think about bringing one of these cars from America for myself, or for my security guys, or maybe I should bring something exotic instead.
Now there ain't nothing to it. Go ahead and bring Goliath on. Ain't no giant, I ain't gon' fire on. Catch a fade, you I'm wrong.
What you've got, Cadillac? 125 miles per hour is not a problem. 118 in this turn. 115. It keeps 115 in this turn and feels quite stable. It feels very confident at this speed. There is not even a hint on losing control. Even though the road is wet, and these are summer tires, this car is not faster than a Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser might be even faster, I guess, if you floor it, but at least its hood stands still. It doesn't bounce like it does on a Land Cruiser. I'll show you what I mean, check this out. My regards to Toyota. This is the car for those who don't want a BMW. You are welcome, this car is a perfect alternative. Buy this one and have fun. A perfect option for those who live far away from big cities, where you don't meet BMW services too often, or in case if you don't have enough money for a BMW. However, if you don't live in America, you may face same problems with a Cadillac, like the lack of services or the lack of money. But there's one more but. Even though the BMW X7 is a pretty good car, it's not same big as this one. And as a result, it's not same roomy as this car. It's got 7 seats. And in addition to that, it also has a huge trunk. And when I say huge, I mean enormous. The steering wheel feels kind of homogeneous. You feel this integrity with all the other elements of the automobile, so to say. But even despite being such a huge bastard that seems to have an awful steering, according to physics, it stands perfectly. At least I don't have that feeling that this car is going to roll over. Apart from a Land Cruiser, there's nothing like that. And of course this car doesn't bring so much pleasure as Dodge TRX, for example. This is a car for a man in a suit. A man in a suit with a tie and white shirt who's calmly driving this car in his business, whoever he is, a property estate developer or whatever. The roof is covered with Alcantara and it's cool. And also I like the position of the speakers. By the way, we've just tested the music here. And I didn't hear any extraordinary sound, so even despite the amount of these speakers and their positioning, I mean, you've got them over here and over there, and you may think that it should give some extraordinary sound, but all this is just marketing stuff.
Instincts going no, looking bad like a bat with an eye patch. All black through the woods with a backpack and a lit match. Spitting everybody looking at me while I got them all in my sight. Picking them all, picking them out, looking like they...
Unfortunately, we don't have any Cadillac dealership in Russia. And I have to learn all the information about this car from the internet. There's nowhere to go and talk about them. Anyway, some people say it's made on its own base, and some people say it shares the base with Chevy Silverado. And also the owner of this car discovered a very interesting fact to me. As an everyday user of this car, he noticed a very dangerous disadvantage that concerns this automatic doorstep, and then he described the next situation. Check this out. I have a little child, and when it came to choosing the options for the car, I had to pick between the captain seats and the doorstep. That's because they don't come together. No, they don't, so I decided to get rid of the step because of my child, simply because he can stumble. No. Imagine a situation when you park near the curb, and your child is standing on the very edge of it. You open the door and the step smashes his feet. Such thing may happen. I've never even thought about it. Not many people think about it, but this thing can be really dangerous. Okay, let's imagine it. If you stand just like this on a curb, yeah, that's right, and the step goes down. And even if my son stands here, and I open the other door for my wife, right? Even if he stands here, it automatically goes all the way down. Yeah, now I got it. And it presses his feet. I never thought about it. Has it ever happened? Well, I heard it once happened somewhere in America. When we took this car for a test drive, it stood on 24-inch wheels, and it looked very cool and stylish. But later we had to change them for stock ones, because the owner asked us to come to the service once again to get rid of summer tires and put on wheels with winter tires. And on winter tires the car behaves itself perfectly. It feels so soft, so gentle. And the main thing is that the whole suspension and the absorbers were designed and calculated for this exact size, weight, height and width. No shit! That's right. Also, this car will never surprise you with any cool sound, like for example, the sound of the engine. I mean, at least this particular car, because this is a family automobile. Just remember it. A Cadillac Escalade is made for family. The most important thing in life, and sitting inside of this car you want to feel yourself a dad of some big family, and you want to fill this car with kids' voices. You just want your kids to be sitting behind you, watching something, playing something, eating something, pouring their melted ice cream right on the back seats. And even though I usually treat my cars very carefully, and I hate when someone's staining my interior, but in the case of a family car, I just don't care. Do whatever you want. Drop your potato and nuggets on the floor or whatever. You are allowed to do anything you want because you're kids. Have fun. Driving this car, you want to feel yourself a dad, with a little shed ass inside, or even a few of them because this car is made for that. Even I want a couple of them already. And also I have to mention that this automobile has a pretty old engine, but the software is pretty up to date. Yesterday I got a full tank, and we drove it for the whole day yesterday, and we're driving it today, and still we have more than half a tank. Of course we're not flooring it, and we're not racing it, and we don't launch it. We just slowly drive it in a comfort mode, like everyone usually drives a big family car, and it feels very comfortable. And as you may know, I used to treat American cars very badly because I don't love them much, and because the cars they did mostly used to be mass-produced garbage. All of these cheap Dodges and Camaras and Mustangs and all of these cars for people with no money, and for people who want to show off a lot, who wants to look cool, as if they own a cool car like a Rolls-Royce. But they can't afford it. I guess that's who these cars were made for. And of course there were some cars. And today they have such a car like, for example, and I actually love it. I mean the new Ford GT. And I don't have even half a price for buying such an automobile. I can only hope that one day I will. And I will be able to make this dream come true. Cause I'm in love with this car so much. I still don't know how cool this car is technically, but I find it very beautiful. Anyway, this is the second American car this year that actually managed to make me happy. Well, the TRX definitely made me feel excited. I was totally blown away with that automobile. From now on, I'm gonna pay more attention to American cars. I'm gonna watch American car market much more carefully, because now I want to observe it more closely. And it's not because this car is better than a Land Cruiser, so let's shoot a test drive. I simply liked it, because it's good. This is a good soft American automobile. I've never said words good American automobile in one sentence. But finally I can say that this is a good American automobile. Because this is true. What you're definitely gonna face is noise insulation issues. The owner of this car has just made wheel arcs noise insulation. That's how bravely he fights against noise. On the whole, he did a complete noise insulation in this car. But still it feels like no noise insulation at all. I guess it feels like a tin can when it's stock. So pay your attention to that and keep that in mind. So the noise insulation is the first thing. And also the brakes. That's the second issue. Also it has some small defects in the interior. That's the third thing. Also you should mind the price in your country. But on the whole, this car is cool. So if I ever meet you driving this car in traffic or on a highway and our eyes meet, you should know that I won't say anything good or anything bad about you and your car. But I will smile to you. Because I'm definitely gonna be happy for you, because I'm gonna be sure that you are not an idiot. See ya.